Hi, I'm Ashley Campbell, physical therapist from Nashville, Tennessee at Nashville Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center and owner of Performance One Golf. I'm here today with Aiden, who is a baseball player and golfer, so a rotational athlete. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the restrictions that we see in the thorax and the T-spine that really can limit our rotational athletes. So a big problem that a lot of these guys have, or girls, is that when they are rotating, they really struggle to separate their pelvis and their torso. So if they don't get good separation, they can lose a lot of their power and their speed, or it can set them up for some injuries. And oftentimes they're getting coached or encouraged to turn more, such as turning your shoulders more in the backswing, but they don't have the physical ability. So we have our HyperIce tools that can really benefit them both clinically if we're treating them, or I can instruct them in some things to do on their own to help loosen things up and get moving so that when they are trying to turn more and create that disassociation, they're actually capable of it. So we're going to do a quick screen here on Aiden. I'm going to have you stand up and we're going to face this way. What I want you to do is get in kind of an athletic posture for me and put your arms across your chest. And what I want you to do is you're going to rotate your hips without rotating your upper body as far as you can each direction. So what I'm looking for is he able to rotate each direction, and is he able to control his trunk when he does it, or is he turning with it as a unit instead of separately? Now, I want you to keep this stable and rotate your torso without moving your hips. Okay, and then all the way the other way. Good. Now go a little bit faster for me. And you'll notice, keep going, a little bit faster each way, go faster. As we add a little speed, it becomes harder to really stabilize. So if I come in and I brace him, now go faster. Right? He has a lot more rotation available to him if I actually create stability here. So what I want to do is make sure that he's capable of separating torso, thorax, from the pelvis. So come on up here on your hands and knees. Now lots of things can restrict his ability to do this. It could be mobility restrictions or some stability control deficits. So I'm going to have you sit all the way back on your heels. I'm going to bring your arms right into the middle. And then I want you to put this hand behind your back. So what I'm doing here is I'm kind of locking out the lumbar spine, and I want to assess his ability to rotate through his thorax in an unloaded position of the spine. So I want you to twist all the way up towards the ceiling as far as you can. Good. And I'm looking for, does he lean towards me, or is he actually just purely rotating? And he's kind of leaning. Come on back down. So I'm going to brace him, and I'm going to just check his motion here. And he's got good rotational ability. And then we would do that on both sides. Okay. So if he has access to that motion, maybe we just have to create an environment where he can stabilize better between the two to disassociate. So what I want you to do is go ahead and lie flat on your stomach just to get comfortable. And I'm going to use the HyperVolt Plus to just kind of settle down any restriction he may have in these paraspinal. So most of these athletes that are not controlling that disassociation well are going to have a lot of tone throughout the paraspinals of the back, throughout their lats. And that can feel really restricting to them, and that can limit their exercise performance. So I'm going to actually use the HyperVolt Plus to try and just settle that down with the cushion attachment. It's just going to be a little bit more comfortable in this area where there's a lot of bone with the scap and the rib cage. And I'm going to turn it on and put it on level 1. So our percussion level is going to be a little bit slower, the slowest speed, to help down regulate some of the tone. So Aiden, if you have any pain or discomfort, you let me know, okay? So I'm going to start kind of through the muscles here along the paraspinals, and I'm not going to go right over his scap, which is right out here. I'm going to make sure I'm on soft tissue here. So I'm just going to come along, and I'm going to do this on both sides for probably a minute or two on each, just right along the spine. And then I'm going to kind of work my way down through the rib cage, trying to get those intercostals to relax as well so that he can move a little bit better through that rotation. Now again, we found with Aiden that he had a little bit of inhibition or stability control issues. So what I want to do is take this up to level 2 and 3. Now I'm going to facilitate some of the muscles to turn on, and then we would follow it up with our exercise. So I'm going to bump it up to level 2, go through that same area, more on the standpoint of activating. And we do it on the other side, and we can go to level 3 as well. Okay, now what I would do is come up on his hands and knees, and we'll just do this, just a quick example. Come on down into that rock back position. Bring your arms in the midline, and I can have him put his arm behind his back, and we can just do some assisted exercises. So you're going to rotate with me. So he's doing a lot of the work, but I'm helping him, And we can progress this to make it easier or harder for him, and we would do both sides, and then get him up into a load-bearing position and use a more sport-specific activity. At home, do you know how to foam roll?
I do.
Okay, so you can sit up for me here. Now he's going to need to be able to do this before he goes and plays golf. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have him use the Viper. Okay, so the Hyperice Viper also has 3 speeds of vibration. I'm going to have him, before you warm up, go on the range. You're going to get on the side on your lats and roll on your back with this on level 1. Okay, and then you can stretch a little bit, and then you're going to hit it on level 2 and or level 3 to kind of wake everything up before you go out and hit balls. Okay, sound good?